Well, hey guys, it's Brandon C. Line, and here's my hands and my disembodied voice. And today we are solving a whole lot of problems that I've had technically over a very long time. And yes, look at my glorious shark pajama pants. Today we are building a computer, my brand new gaming computer. So let me show you the parts that we're going to be using really quick, and then we'll get to the actual work. First off, we have the motherboard. This is an MSI B8 G43. We've got 4 RAM slots, uses the LGA 1155 Intel chipset, dual PCI Express 16X with AMD Crossfire. On the back here, supports 5.1 surround. It has built-in HDMI, DisplayPort, VGA, and DVI, which is pretty nice, with 6 USB ports. 2, I believe, are USB 3. That's the blue ones there. And then 4 USB 2. And also, for whatever reason, still PS2 ports. Don't think I'll ever use that, but it was nice. This is actually a refurbished model. It's normally around $80 to $85. I picked it up for $40, which was pretty freaking sweet to me. We are using Kingston Kingston Fury HyperX. This is an 8 gigabyte module. Oh, I don't know if that's gonna zoom in properly. So we get it really close. Maybe. No. It's DDR3 1866. So pretty good. I have another one of these on the way. We're going to be reusing my MSI branded AMD Radeon HD 7850 video card, which has 2 mini DisplayPort, 1 HDMI and 1 DVI. Just for now, we're going to be using a pretty standard Western Digital 320 gigabyte hard drive, serial ATA, of course. I have more parts on the way, but these are the core components, and I wanted to go ahead and get this put together. For the processor, we are using an Intel Pentium dual-core G3258. I know what you're thinking, dual core? What are you doing? Who uses dual core? Well, let me tell you about this little guy. This little guy is a freaking workhorse. It is an unlocked Haswell core. It runs stock at 3.2 gigahertz, which still, 3.2, that's nothing. This little guy, because it's only a dual core, it produces very little heat, which means with the stock Intel cooler, which will also be getting replaced, this little puppy can be overclocked anywhere from 4.3 up to 4.8 gigahertz, which is very impressive, getting a 50% speed increase just from simple overclocking. Now, what it's going to be going into is this. This is a Cooler Master Elite 350 with a provided Cooler Master 500 watt power supply. I did all the numbers. 500 watts is all that I really need. So we should be good on that. The tools that we're going to be using are pretty basic. Standard Phillips head screwdriver. We also have a set of pliers with built-in wire cutters. And one that's very, very important, and the only thing that some people might not have readily available, and it just got caught on me, is an anti-static wristband. This has a piece of metal right here, which sits on your wrist, right there. This piece here will be clamped on the chassis of the case. This allows any possible built-up static charge to immediately be directed to the chassis so we don't accidentally short anything out, because that would be really, 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 really bad. So we'll go ahead and get that attached there. So we're good to go. So we can go ahead and get started. Along with the Cooler Master case came a bag full of various types of screws. The ones that we're focused on right now aren't exactly screws, but are these. These are motherboard standoffs. What they do is they lift the motherboard up off of the back plate of the chassis because, you know, you don't really want all these little metal contacts down here. You can see them kind of poking up there. You don't want those touching metal. That's how things kind of get shorted out a little bit. And here's just another picture of an individual standoff. They're just threaded on one side to screw into the back plate, and then of a hole for the screws. So what we'll do now is let's go ahead and undo this twist tie that is binding up the cables for the chassis fan, and I only have that kind of twisted up. Huh, why would they do this? Alright, what we're going to do, as you can see, this has a connection right here that's going out to 2 Molex. This would be just if you wanted to power this directly off the power supply. We're actually going to take that off because as long as yes, there is, well, is it? Yes. I want that being controlled by the motherboard. We'll go ahead and get some of these cables out of the way for right now. And before anyone freaks out while I'm doing this, my cable management skills are absolutely horrid, so you've been warned. And go ahead and just slide this out of the way. Take the motherboard, set it in here just so we can see where we need to place the standoffs. There's no power going to it, so we can set it directly on the back plate, and that will be fine. Okay. So, let me go ahead and bring you on down in here. My room's a mess. We need one here, here, down here, and another one here and here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There's actually 2 right there. Get this set back right. I've been fiddling with getting that set where it needs to be all day. Okay. This way. Okay. So now we will very gently go ahead and bring this back out and set it back on the provided anti-static bag. Okay, so we'll go ahead and install the standoffs. These don't need to be screwed in super tight. I generally don't like screwing them in super tight anyway, because if I ever have to take them out, it becomes a major pain. Okay, so just kind of finger tightness. Look at that again. Okay, the one across from here. Get in there. Gotta find the hole. Alright, and there was one last one right here. Excellent. Okay, fantastic. So now that we have that, we can go to our other bag of screws. Let's see here. Okay. Okay. We'll be using these. These are smaller screws with a flattened top, a flattened rim. Not sure if it's gonna want to focus in on that well enough. Now the one thing that wasn't provided with the motherboard was, or the case, course it actually would have been provided with the motherboard, not the case anyway, is the back plate to cover the input-output ports. Not really a big deal. I don't really like screwing with those anyway, so not a huge loss. We're going to put these guys back in. One thing we do need to do now, actually, before we screw this in, I'm glad I noticed it. We're going to need to take this back out. And we're going to slide the case out of the way for right now. Bring over the motherboard. As you can see here, you have holes here, 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 and here. That's where the CPU cooler needs to go. What this means is whenever the new cooler comes in, which is actually only going to be in about a week, but I really wanted to get this together just to make sure that everything is functioning properly, we need to go ahead and install the CPU and cooler. Now, to install the CPU, there's this arm right here. Simply push it down and out, and lift that off. Excellent. And this can come off as well. That's just a little protective plate, and it said, it even says save and replace if processor is removed. We will then take our lovely processor. Let me move this. I need to move my anti-static thing to this webcam here, you guys, is actually sitting on another computer case. So I'm just move that over. All right. So what we want to do before we take it out of the box is you look on the motherboard and you find the corner that is marked. You can see that has a white dot while these other corners do not. That is your reference point, and on the processor you will have a reference point here. It has a little triangle. That lets you know where that needs to set. And back in the day, processors had a whole crap load of pins that could get bent and messed up. Not so much the case anymore. Grab it gently by the sides. As you can see, there's no pins here. It's just all flat contact points. Okay. And that is simply going to sit in the chipset like that. Just make sure it's kind of set in there. Good. Close the lid. Then, boop, and processor installed. Next up is going to be the CPU cooler. On the bottom of it, it already has pre-applied thermal grease. What you want to do is, this was wound up around here, the cord. So unwind that. You want to set it where the cord is as close to the CPU fan port, which in our case is here, as possible. So we're going to install it just like this. I want to make sure that these are going to go down properly. Okay. Interesting. One moment, let me take a look at something. Because some of these little leg pins here were in different default positions, and I want to make sure that we don't mess anything up. So I have the box. This is the Pentium 20th Anniversary Unlocked Haswell Core Edition. Let me put the stuff down here. Okay. It even comes with a free sticker to put on that case because that adds more speed. It's scientifically proven that if you put the Intel sticker on the case, you get like another 500 megahertz. Science, guys, seriously. All right, let me take a look here for the cooler. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm just double checking here. Curved thing goes out. Okay, good to know. So, alright, we're going to take it. Curved parts all go out. It actually looks like it wants me to go ahead and install that before I install this. So let's do it. Always better to take a few extra minutes so you don't screw it up. Okay. Your motherboard, processor installed. Set it oh so gently down in here. Get it lined up on the standoffs as best you can. There we go. Now we take our standard Phillips head screwdriver and 6 of these little tiny screws. Oh, those are the wrong. Oh, that's the wrong guide. These 4, 5, 6. Another thing that's nice to have is just some type of little box or container to hold all the screws and stuff that you're going to be needing. And again, these, oh god, don't need to be super tight. You really don't want them to be super tight because you don't want to run the risk of cracking the board. Now from the instructions, it looks like it wants me to use a flathead screwdriver to twist down the CPU cooler fin or leggings, which is fine. I have one on standby. Right in there. Okay. One right over. Ooh. As long as there's no power, it's not a problem. You know, you definitely don't want to go stabbing a screwdriver into your motherboard. That's just no bueno. And let's get that last screw out. Right down in here. Excellent. Now, what we'll go ahead and do before things get too crowded is go ahead and connect up the cables to the motherboard. If we look down in here, right there, you have a whole series of different types of pins. Let me see if I can get some light on this. Okay, not sure how well you'll be able to see it, but that's where we put in the speaker, the power LED, the hard drive LED, the power switch, and the reset switch. So we can go ahead and get that taken care of. I kind of wish I had a better camera setup, but I'm just going with what I got. And it's this big bundle of various cables here. These are for HD audio, for AC97. I can't remember what that's for. USB. It's for the front USB ports, and they're all twist tied together. So we'll take those off. Excellent. Get them a little untangled. Zip ties were provided, so I might actually be able to do a little bit of cable management. With these, we have the hard drive LED. That's the red and white. The power switch. That's the orange and white. The reset switch, which is yellow or I'm sorry, blue and white, and then the power LED, which is green and white, and two separate little tiny pins. I don't know how well you can see that, but yeah, they're tiny. So go ahead and get those connected. So the hard drive LED goes right here. Good. Next up is the power switch, which goes up on the top row. Unfortunately, these are not in a standardized layout, so that's why you can't just have, you know, a block like this just to connect them up. I'm hoping maybe one day that'll change. Okay, power LED. Go ahead, set those up like this. And then we have the reset switch, which will go down below. Push those down. Excellent. Now what we'll do is we will take these, do a quick little bundle like this. Twist those up together and just kind of shove it up under here. Out of sight, out of mind. Okay. Now we have our USB. Just going to go right front there. Super. So good. Now we need the audio. Let's see, do they have the spot for that? Let me look here. Ah, yes, the audio. Just gonna go right here. I'm not entirely sure what the AC 97 is for. I don't. No, it won't go there. So that's not going to do anything. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. I just realized that I'm missing a serial ATA cable. I have an extra. Alright, so that is in. So now we can install the CPU cooler. Alright, it said, look at this little picture again. There we go. So here it is. There's the picture for it, and it shows the curved edges being out. So like this, all these pointing out. That will set right on top of here. Pretty easy. Pretty easy. Let me grab my flathead screwdriver here. Okay, it's showing those going in. Saying to push them down and then twist. Okay. They push in really, really easily. And we simply twist them to lock them. They have made this so much easier than having to fiddle around with a whole bunch of like push down brackets that you had to like, the cooler was bigger than the actual bracket, so you had to like angle down a screwdriver to try to push it onto the little pin, and you're always afraid you were going to slip and put a huge gash in all your stuff. Alright, sorry. Now, let's see. No, that wouldn't work. So what we'll do, go ahead and connect up our CPU fan. Done. We have a little bit extra, so we'll just kind of, again, take a little twist tie. And just twist that up. There, so that won't be so much in the way. We're going to go ahead and take our other fan. Is that going to reach over there? We'll have to kind of set the, well, yeah, that'll be fine, because that's where the ram's going to go. Set that right there, and make sure, well, actually, run it underneath this one. Oh, never, stupid. There's actually a system fan pin right here. Go ahead and connect that up, and that's for our back case fan, which hopefully will be pushing quite a bit of air. Okay, so we have that in. Next, we'll go ahead and install the RAM. The RAM is pretty easy. And pop it out of here. And here's the HyperX Fury. Now with this, sometimes they're marked, sometimes they're not, but you will have all of your DDR3 slots here. I have 4 of them because eventually I will be expanding this out to 32 gigabytes of RAM. And there is marking on here. It's right there. You can see it lists DIMM 1, DIMM 2, DIMM 3, DIMM 4, and DIMM 2 and 4 are labeled as first. So those are the ones that you need to use first. Try again. Hey, there's my telescope. And there's, where is it? There's Darth Maul. Okay. Sorry guys, let me adjust this again. There we go. That's good. So we have our RAM. DIMM 2, DIMM 4 are the black ones. So go ahead, push back the pins there. Make sure the slot matches with the slot here. So I'm going to turn that around. Put it in the grooves. Pressure on either side, and done. That part always kind of scares me because I always feel like I'm pushing it down too much. But there we go. Next up is going to be our video card. I have 2 PCI Express ports, one here, one here. Those are the PCI Express 16X, sorry, which is what the video card uses. You also have 2 PCI Express 3.0 1X, which are used for like expansion cards and the like. They're tiny, just these little black ones right here. See, I kind of wish that I had been able to mount the camera directly above the, okay, there we go. So what we're going to do, on the back of the case here, there are some plates, some metal plates. You just want to bend those down and wiggle them back and forth. Some cases, ones that are a little bit more expensive, have these to where they just slide right out and they're locked in place. This one, you actually have to bend them back and forth. I got a really good deal on this case as well. I was looking around. This was recommended by Linus Tech Tips, which is a really great YouTube channel. If you like to stay current on new technology, I'd really recommend checking them out. Okay, that's fine. You like, whenever you're building, you're always like super paranoid about what's happening. Okay, so now that I have those open, just show you right down here. We're going to take our video card, set it right into the PCI Express slot, and just push it down with barely any pressure at all. Then we will take these screws here. These have a hex head on them. And we'll use that to screw in our, come here, there we go. Oh, actually, I believe this USB shouldn't be there, it should be here. Excellent. Okay, so we're just going to take 2 of these screws, one into the top hole, and get it in, there we go. And one into the bottom. The Cooler Master Elite case, it's about a, I don't know, $60 case, 60, 70, something like that. I found it through a company called Tech Envy. They're a Amazon seller. It was an open box. There's a little bit of damage on the box here, but the case is in perfect condition. Got it for $35, something like that, after shipping and everything. Really, really good deal. Open box, refurbished. I generally am not super concerned about it because it's gonna work and it'll be fine. It'll be just fine. Let's see. That's the USB 3.0. 2 ports. I'm just taking a look around. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Let me very quickly reach over here and grab my spare serial ATA cable. Around here. Excellent. And we're done. Okay. Yay. So now we have hard drive, Western Digital, no big deal. We are going to first, because the serial ATA ports are down here, pointing that way, and we're going to plug that in. I can actually see them properly. We'll just pop the front of the case off. That'll make things easier. This is also how you would access and install another CPU or case fan right here on front, which I will be doing. That part is also on the way. Actually, no, I didn't order that part yet, so that will be for another day. Okay. Got it here. Go ahead, plug in serial ATA. Now, I'm not using an optical drive, like a CD drive, DVD drive, just because I don't need one. I really don't. Go ahead, snap the case back on. I really like how easy that is to take on and off. That is really, really nice. Okay, so take the hard drive, kind of push these cables down and under so they don't get in the way. Just fit it right into the grooves and use the same type of screws that you used to secure the video card. Screw those in. Generally, just one side is enough, but no, we are going. Secure it tightly on both sides just to reduce the chance of anything happening that we don't want to happen. Simple thumb screws. Lay this down gently on the side here. The case pops out. Now, some cases have kind of a bevel or a bulge that comes out on the side of the case that allows for better cable management. This one doesn't. It's not too big of a deal. I don't have too many cables running all over the place, so it shouldn't affect us much at all. Go ahead and get these screws in there nice and secure. This is just so I can get this going and get it set up. I have a 256 gigabyte solid state drive, as well as a 2 terabyte storage drive on the way. The details of all that I will get into when we make that video. Okay, so that's great. So now we can take this cable and kind of twist it around just a little bit. Got that? Is that on there? Is it on there right? What are you doing here? It's not snapping, but it's on there. And then we take our big bundle power cables. Huge bundle. I kind of wish eventually what I will do is upgrade the power supply to a modular power supply to where I can choose exactly which of these cables get plugged in and whatnot, because like these guys, these Molex connectors, no use for them. I do not need them at all. So give me just a moment to untangle some of these connectors. Thankfully, Molex used to be the standard. Now, luckily, you just get one little string of them in case you are using this power supply in a really, really, really old system, which thankfully I am not. Just going to take some little provided zip ties to this. Yeah. And come on. There we go. Pull that in tight. And those get hidden away forever. We have our standard 20 pin, which goes right there on the motherboard. Make sure that is all the way down and secure. There's also a secondary power port here. You'll sometimes it's over here by the main power connector, sometimes not. Some are listed as 20 plus 4 or just 24. This one would be considered 20 plus 4. Okay, we'll kind of move those out of the way so that they're not all up in power supply fan's business. We then have this additional power connector, which is going onto our video card to give it the extra juice that it needs. And then a serial ATA power connector, which will just go right down here onto our hard drive. At least it should. Come on now. There. Done and done. Have some extra serial ATA connectors, which we don't really need. So for now, all of this just kind of get settled in around here. Again, cable management kind of sucks, but we're good. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you build a computer. Everything is connected, everything is in. Now, we just have to make sure that it works. So give me a couple of minutes to set up what we need to do for that, and I'll be back. Well, okay guys, we are set up here. I have my spare monitor set up. I just have a keyboard, no extra mouse yet. Oops. This is going to be replacing my quote-unquote daily driver anyway, so it's not a big deal. Let me get this plugged in here. I also have, I just had it. Where did I set it? Uh-oh. Where'd it go? My USB boot drive, here it is, which is a Kingston 32 gigabyte. So we'll go ahead and get that plugged in as well. That's in. So everything is connected, everything is good. Go ahead and do I have the power? I don't have the power connected to this guy. This is a pretty cheapo Acer screen. Go ahead and power it on. Here we go. There we go. Excellent. I think my webcam's a little off kilter, but we'll be okay. Showing no signal. Got the DVI port plugged in. So now it's time. Oh. Power switch on. CPU is spinning. Those are spinning. Let's see if we get video signal. Nothing yet. Uh-oh. That's not good. Let's go ahead and shut her off. It did not post. Did not post. Let's see what we got here. What do we have going on? What could have gone wrong? Let's make sure we have all of our power connected. We have power going to the video card. Video card is in. Well, dang. Let's try it one more time. Ah! Hold on. I plugged in the DVI to the motherboard, not to the video card. Let me adjust that really quick. It's been 6 years since I've built a new computer. Okay, let's try it now. Power switch on and go. Yes! Yes! Oh my God! It's working! No, was there Windows already installed on this? No, I need to get into the boot mode. This is me escape, delete. Ah, here was one of them. Escape or delete. Oh my! Look at this. Shows. Oh, you guys can't see that. Right here, temperature of the CPU 47 degrees, 48 degrees. It's going to go up a little bit here and there. Date's wrong. I'll have to fix that. Or is that wrong? That might be right. I don't know. Intel Pentium R, running at 3.2 gigahertz, which is showing at 3.2 gigahertz. It's 32 multiplier at 100 megahertz. DDR RAM is at 1333, and it has 8 gigabytes. It's 8,192 megabytes. Fantastic. What we have here available to us are settings, overclock, mFlash, which is for flash BIOS by USB, which is useful. The overclock profiles, hardware monitor, and the board explorer. I want to check out the motherboard settings with boot. Full screen logo display is fine. Boot mode, boot option. Okay. What I want to do is actually see if I can change the value of plus and minus. I want to move the hard drive or the US. Oh, what is that? Come on. Okay. Here. I want this to be USB, then CD-ROM, then hard drive last. That's good. Okay, I want to go ahead and exit from there. The advanced. I don't think we really need to mess with anything there. So we'll save and exit that. Just want to save changes. Yes. And go back here. Now overclocking is a very interesting thing. Now it has the CPU ratio adjustment. You also have the core voltage, which is set to auto, you normally want to keep it there. This, the CPU adjustment ratio, that's something that we may fiddle around with later. For right now, I just want to make sure that we can get it up and running. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and tell it. Oh, it even gives you the option of taking a screenshot with F12. I wonder where it saves that. I'm not sure. As you can see, our temperature is already up to 52 degrees Celsius. It's fluctuating between 51 and 52. I'm not entirely sure how high that's going to get with the stock cooler going. Once I get my other cooler going, that'll be going pretty good. Okay, we want to save changes and reboot. So it should, by default, boot off of our USB key. I'm hoping you guys can hear me all right. I'm behind the microphone in this case. And it did. This is a multi-ISO boot disk made with Yumi. So as you can see, it has grub, bootable ISOs, antivirus tools, system tools. If I go to other, just give you guys a quick little look at what I do. High-res boot CD, really useful. A lot of interesting tools. With the system tools, I have Ultimate Boot CD, again, really useful. Just a lot of different tools that you can use whenever systems go to crap. Under antivirus tools, I have the Kaspersky Rescue CD, Cav Rescue 10, when all else fails. And then here I have my Windows installation. So we'll go ahead and tell it to go into Windows Setup. I really wish I had a different way of recording this, but I don't. So we're just going with what I got, guys. I'm sorry. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. And here we go. We are starting into Windows. Go ahead and focus there, if you will, please. I'll be doing this without a mouse, so that's a little difficult, but it'll be fine. Alright. English, of course. Next. Install. I believe there is already a Windows installation on here, but that'll be fine. Setup is starting. This is a multi-ISO. It has every version of Windows on there. I actually have a key for Ultimate, and we're definitely using 64-bit. Make sure, if you are building a computer and you have more than 4 gigabytes of RAM, you are properly, you choose 64-bit. You have to. Okay? You just absolutely have to. Let me get back up here. There we go. Delete that as well. And then we want to create a new partition. Max size, that's fine. So apply. Okay. And it's going to create its own small partition just to unzip some necessary system files. And then we go next. And this is going to take hardly any time at all. How about that? Fantastic. All right, I'm going to let this run, and I will be back with you guys. Let me adjust myself around here once we get a little bit farther. Okay, guys, here we are. We are at our Windows desktop, and as you can see, everything's really ugly because I'm going to need to install all the needed drivers. Go to Computer, Properties, and the Device Manager right here. Got some stuff that just isn't showing up. Under the display adapters, it's showing the standard VGA, but of course, you know, we need to install the drivers for our lovely 7850. Not the greatest video card in the world, mind you, but it works, and it feels so weird recording a desktop screen with a webcam. It's like those people that don't know how to take screenshots, so they take a picture with their camera or with their phone and then email it to you. It's just annoying to me. But I do want to show you guys one thing really quick in case you weren't aware of it. Now let's go ahead and open up Internet Explorer, probably one of the only times we will ever do this. I'm going to go to a website. It is ninite.com, Ninite.com. Okay, it's really, really useful. Okay, go to hell. Yeah. And I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see this, but you can go to the website and check it out for yourself. Ninite provides you a really easy way of installing all the software that you need. So I need Chrome, Microsoft Security Essentials, Malwarebytes. I need Notepad++, Skype, Dropbox and Google Drive. I want VLC, K-Lite codecs, Java all the way down, even though this gives you Java 8, but I will be downloading Java 7 update 26 or something. I need 7-zip, TeamViewer, Clery Utilities, Winterstat. Let's see. Foxit Reader and LibreOffice. And of course, Steam and everything. If you don't know what everything is a local search engine, pretty much. It will index your entire drive, and you can find items like that. You can find anything that you have. So you do that, click to download the installer. Of course, we want to save that to our downloads folder. Downloads super quick. Go ahead, run all that, and what it's going to do once this bar finishes, here we go. Go ahead and say yes to allow it to do that. Go ahead and click to show the details. And here, let's see if I can get this closer. Yeah, it's showing it has all of these guys here, all the way down the list. Everything that we selected, it's going to download it and then install it. And it does it without you having to, like with Adobe or with Flash Player and Java, it's like, do you want to install the McAfee toolbar? Do you want to install Ask Jeeves? You want us to take you to Alta Vista? It skips all of that crap. You don't have to worry about it. It even shows over here, no toolbars. It updates it too. So if later, like in a month, I run this exact same installer that we downloaded, it'll run through, check every single one of them, and update it if necessary. So that's going to go through. And that, folks, is that. Our computer is up and running. Everything is set. Windows has already been activated. Took care of that. I just need to install the AMD drivers. Go ahead, get Steam installed. Download Minecraft. Download Feed the Beast. Transfer my saves over from my old tower. And we got a stew going, baby. I really want to thank you guys for joining me on this grand adventure. There's going to be another video in about a week whenever some of these upgrade parts come in. So that's going to be really, really exciting. And that's also going to be, it's going to be pretty interesting. But I will see you guys then. And until next time, this is Brandon C. Lion signing off.